It's time to visit with Andy Crowner from the city of West Burlington and RE/MAX Realty. Andy, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine. How about yourself?
Great. We had some carryover from last week's meetings. I was hoping you could update me on a few things. We talked about the not sexy sewer lift station. I mean, these are the kinds of things that that cost a lot of money, and it's not like building a swimming pool or something fun. Although I guess if you think about it, never mind.
Yeah, so no meeting this week. We do have a meeting next week, and of course had one last week. So had some big items on last week's agenda. The first one being a new sewer lift station out by the Des Moines County landfill. This is actually being paid for by the landfill, so we did go ahead and approve the specs and plans for that. That is out for bid. Should be about a $900,000 project. But in the end, this should actually save all of us in the county money. The landfill will be paying less for their sewer, and it should help West Burlington as well because we'll have some extra people paying in the sewer rates, so we should have some extra income coming in.
And then the other thing that we talked about last week that I was waiting for an update on was the water tower.
You got it. Yeah, the water tower, which is a long-term project that the city's been working on in a long time. And then it's going to take us about 2 years to complete. So we're going to move the water tower that's across from Deary Brothers, right over there by you. We're going to move that out by the city shops. It'll be a 500,000-gallon water tower. We're going to have some sewer line along with that to tie it into the current lines. So we approved the specs and the bids for that, and that's out for bid as well. Estimated to be about a $4.5 million project out there by the city shops.
So obviously it can't cost $4.5 million for a steel tower, so there must be other stuff like lines that go to it. You might not know all of this. This is kind of a Gifford question, but you got to run, like, I'm sure, some pretty jumbo lines to it, right?
You got it, and we're going to have to run it kind of from where the current water tower sits over by you out to there, and just basically extend those main lines out that direction. Obviously, in any project, you've got, all the site engineering
right
that goes along with that. And in today's world, there's a lot of that has to happen just to meet state requirements.
Tell me those lines are going to be on the north side of Mount Pleasant Street.
I read through the plans and I saw sections on both. So okay. I need to go back through and read that. I don't think it goes on one side the whole way.
Yeah, ultimately it's going to be it's got to be, the tower is going to be on the north side, right?
You got it. Yep.
So you got to cross over somewhere. Does that have anything to do with this work that was done out here at the corner of North Gear and Mount Pleasant Street?
No, we had some issues out there, and I guess that's something that's kind of ongoing that our city workers have been taking care of. But no, that's not yet. This project hasn't started yet. We will get started here pretty soon, but it won't be done until 2022. So this will be kind of a couple-year project to get done.
All right. Also, last week we talked about this house that was either coming up for sale, was it, or a property? It was property, right?
The city took over 310 West Burlington Avenue about a year ago and tore that down. And then Southeast Iowa Housing, Inc. bought the property next door to that and tore it down and is building a new house. And so they came to us actually first looking for some funds, and we denied that. We denied putting in $30,000-$40,000 to that project, but we did say, we would be interested in maybe combining that land, and so we combined that land, and we kept a large easement on the north side of 310 because there's a huge ditch that goes through that area. So the city kind of kept that easement, but we combined that property so we could put a nicer, bigger house in that area.
What is, I've never heard of that, Southeast Iowa Housing, Inc. Is that a private concern?
No, it's government ran. There's another local entity that's kind of above that. I can bring that back for you.
I'm just curious.
They do a lot of housing projects in the area, and they're usually HUD homes, the low-income properties.
Mm-hmm.
They do a good job. They've actually done quite a few projects in our area to kind of redo areas and redo houses and build some new houses for low income.
Right. This is Andy Crowner from the city of West Burlington. We're checking in on some projects like we do on a weekly basis. Houston Street looks to me like it's getting finished up. Where are we at on that?
Yeah, the street is fantastic. If you drive down Houston right now, it's smooth, and they are just in there working on sidewalks at the moment. They're doing a great job working out in the cold, getting those sidewalks done. So they've got a couple more to go. I know I walk through there most every day, and they've got a lot of it done, which is nice, especially down in the Broadway area are done already. But those sidewalks needed some help, and they're getting it done. So by the time next spring rolls around, we should have some great new sidewalks in there.
And the other project that I think is finished, it's sure smoother, the South Gear dowel bar replacement. So talking about south of the hospital.
You got it. And what we did there, they went in kind of two sections. So they went and kind of cut into each section down there. And this is, like you said, down south of the hospital. And then as you turn and go on to agency there. So what they did was cut that up. And then they actually took a machine through afterwards and kind of shaved off the road and smoothed it all down. And so if you went through there halfway through the project, it still felt pretty bumpy. But if you go through there today, it is smooth and should be good to go for a long time.
I'm still confused on how they did that. I mean, I heard your explanation again. That's maybe the third time I've heard you explain it. And it was so, bumpy's not the word, so uneven.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster going through there up and down.
Yeah, and now, somehow, without repaving, it's all smooth.
Yeah, and I watched about a half an hour video one day about the project because I wanted to know a little more about it. And they really do just kind of cut down in, with almost a saw and drop these dowel bars, these metal bars down in there and kind of re-concrete over them, let them sit for a little bit, and they kind of pull the concrete back together, and then they go through, and it really is almost like shaving the top. If you imagine almost like a big sander almost, except it cuts the top
right
to smooth it back out, and those dowel bars are supposed to keep those areas back together so it doesn't have the same problem.
Very, very good. All right. What was the other thing? There was some talk. Oh, the camera equipment out there for the leaf and stick drop-off used to be over here in the city where anybody could see it. Now it's where? Way out there at the shops, or where is it?
You got it. Yeah, it's out at the city shops out on Mount Pleasant Street. And we've had some issues with out-of-town people stopping and dropping off leaves and twigs there, and this is something I actually voted against. I didn't think it was a big enough deal to buy a couple $1,000 camera system, and we are having some debate at the moment because some of that is going to be removed for the water tower, and so we are going to need to debate if we're moving that to somewhere else out there, or if we're doing away with that service and doing something different.
What's the point of that? When it used to be here in the neighborhoods, it seemed, all right, that seems like a thing. But to drive all the way out there, you're going to drive past the landfill for starters, or at least near it, right?
Yeah, you are near it. It's, about 2 miles past there. So that is one of the arguments is, you could just take it on out. The big difference I know for me as a citizen of West Burlington, the hours. And being able to take it out there basically anytime I want.
Oh.
The landfill closes at noon on Saturdays.
Yeah.
We're working on Saturday.
That makes sense. Sure. And then
that's a big benefit.
Yeah. All right. And then we've made a determination on Halloween, which is this Saturday. The weather looks great. Maybe the best day of the week weather-wise.
I hope so. Yeah, the city has set hours 5:30 to 7:30 Saturday for trick-or-treating. We have kind of said, hey, this is not a city-sponsored event. This is, you choose to do it. You choose if you're passing out candy. You choose if you're going door to door. Please be careful as much as you can. Wear some masks, distance, those kind of things. I saw a great idea. Somebody had put a plastic pipe on their front porch railing so they could stand on top of the porch and kind of shoot the candy down into the kids' basket, and they had an X down on the ground. Thought that was a great idea.
That is a great idea. All right, we're back with Andy Crowner, andycrowner.com. He's a RE/MAX realtor, among other things. And I'm ready for the update on, I saw on Instagram, because I follow you, I'm interested as a homeowner. You know, I think this describes maybe the majority of people. Everybody's interested in real estate, even if they're not in a position to do anything right now. They want to keep tabs on it because we have an investment in this community in real estate, and we want to know if it's going up or going down, or what did that neighbor's house sell for, and these kinds of things. I saw you sold a nice house, and you posted it on Instagram. I can't remember where it was.
Yeah, I usually don't post the address. It was down on Liebrick, down by that school down there, and great house, redone. Somebody had bought it.
Yeah.
Basically redone all the work inside and sold it for a profit. But it was a great house, sold to a new young teacher in town, and happy to work with buyers. I love doing it. Seeing how happy they are to move into their new house. Actually went to a little gathering there and with a mask on, just kind of dropped a present off, and they were really enjoying moving in and getting all their stuff in there. So always happy to see that, and great house, and thanks to all the people, too, in our town that are fixing up these houses and making them look really nice. Charming
looking home there. They're going to be happy with that. And I love to see young people get off on the right foot. I mean, there are so many of the younger crowd these days that don't appreciate why they might want to consider home ownership rather than renting. And by the time they sort of get the experience to figure that out, they've lost, 5 years off some real financial progress they could have made through home ownership, with that same money.
You got it. And that's something I wish we taught in schools. That's a pretty big part of life. It's the biggest purchase that you make, and you don't learn anything about it.
Right. True. Yeah, that is absolutely true. On new listings in the area, I know you guys do. I also saw a picture. What is that called? A caravan? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's the official term for it. Yeah, on Monday mornings we have office meeting, and then we all go out and kind of caravan in cars and go out and tour homes. So we had 9 new listings we went and toured Monday. Really great properties. We've got everything from some nice redone houses in the 50, 60, 70 range up to, $650,000 houses that just came on out at Spirit Hollow, private pool and a couple acres with it, those kind of things. So some really great properties just came on the market. We always need more, but we've got some great options right now.
Only in Burlington, Iowa, could you have $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 homes. That's so absurd. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's and any place else I've ever lived, that is just such a nutty thing to even think about. What else is going on in the mortgage area? I mentioned about young people. I had thankfully, a boss/mentor when I was in the early 20s age, when I was reckless with, when you first get that first good bunch of paychecks and whatever, and you just go out and do stupid stuff. And he took me aside and forced me to buy real estate. And in the first 5 years, so it's a 15-year loan, you got a third of it more paid for in the first 5 years before you ever realize what a great favor that was. And that's back when mortgage rates were, I don't even, 9-10%, something like that. And now I sit here and look at these crazy mortgage rates. What are they, 3 and 4 right now?
Yeah, the average rate right now nationally on a 30-year fix, so pretty normal loan for a house, is down to like 2.8%.
Wow.
And if you look at that historically, that is the lowest it has been since they really started keeping track in the 1970s, early 70s.
That's just, I feel like it's a missed opportunity that I'm not having a mortgage at the moment. I got to go out there and buy something. Because this can't last forever, for starters. It just can't. It is such a great time. So at 2.8%, I'm a disaster of math, but back in the regular mortgage days when something would be, let's say, 10%, this is a third, less than a third, a little more than a quarter of that rate. This means, in a literal sense, you could afford twice the home for the same money that you might have even a decade or two ago. Just incredible. Would that be right? Would that be fair math?
Well, I think the easy way to look at it is just to look at what happened pre-COVID, because the numbers don't look like a large change, but once you actually do the math on it, it really is. So if you look at, January, your average rate was like 3.6, 3.62, something like that. So we're just dropping from 3.62 to 2.8. And if you take that out and look at your payment then, so let's say you buy a $200,000 house, which is a fairly nice house here in Burlington. It's not one of the top ones, but you'll get a really nice house for $200,000. So on that, you'll save $90 a month, just dropping from what it was in January to today. And if you look out over that 30-year lifespan of that loan on a $200,000 house, you'll pay $32,000 less than you would if you bought in January.
Wow. That is a good way to look at it. And that's just this calendar year. Interesting. If people are interested in buying, where do they find Andy Crowner?
Yeah, if you go to andycrowner.com, I tell you what, if you're getting ready to buy your first house or you're getting ready to buy your fifth house, I've got some great guides up there on closing costs and things available from the state. And there's free guides you can get right there on the website. And, of course, I really recommend your first step. Yes, I can help you walk the whole way. Any realtor can, but really you need to get to a lender and get pre-approved. That way you know about what size of house, how much money you can afford, and then get with your realtor, and we can show you some great properties.
That's great. AndyCrowner.com, 5 steps to buying your dream home in Southeast Iowa, first-time homeowners, buyer's guide, grants, tax credits, all that. Quick and easy tips to sell your Southeast Iowa home fast. For more, it's all at AndyCrowner.com. I see in the chat room, GL says, we paid points to get our mortgage rate down from 12 to 8.25, and we thought we were getting a bargain. Just some years ago. Wow.
Hopefully you don't have that anymore, and you can finance.
No, they don't. Very good. Thank you, Andy. Good to hear from you. Keep up the good work, and we'll talk to you hopefully soon.
Stay warm. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Halloween, West Burlington. What did you say, 5:30 to? I have it right here. 5:30 to 7:30 on Saturday.